I fucking hate trading. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode at IHT with me. And yeah, I really just want to say I appreciate everybody's support. I appreciate everyone's sort of comments and things like that. I've recently read some comment that apparently they thought I was being sponsored by people that I was reviewing, which is, it made me smile a little bit because I doubt that the sponsor would have been happy about my review, but so that was quite fun. And but yeah, in general, I really appreciate everybody's contribution to the community. I think it helps each other. This is not about IHT. This is about you. This is about helping you on your journey, or not. And yeah, like sort of trying to sort of give people a backup to say, look, you're not alone, right? Because that's what this channel is all about. You are not alone, and we got to fight for ourselves and sort of stick up for the community and how difficult things are with trading and just to support people on their journeys. Now, one of those comments that I had asked me, do I feel is trading worth it? And I thought, you know what? Let me explain this a bit more. It was a bit too much my explanation. I started to write one, and I was like going off on one. And I thought, man, this is like an episode. So I removed it, and I just sort of posted a short reply. And I want to talk about this is trading worth it, right? Because this is something you have to draw the line somewhere. No matter where you are on your journey, if you have not made it, which again, I say that in very loose terms, because we'll define that in a bit. But you need to draw the line somewhere, because you cannot keep trying and trying and trying and getting yourself in a deeper and deeper hole with trading, because it can be like that, and it's a horrible journey. From start to finish, even when you become profitable, it can still be a bit of a heartache. But the point is that I wanted to do this video today just to sort of explain my reasoning for it, and just sort of try and give you some advice about what you're doing. So if you are on that journey, and I have a few messages for you. But depending on who you are, right? So this is where I wanted to stay. This is where I wanted to stay. This is where I wanted to start. Now, to those of you who, right? This is where I'm going to start today's episode. Those of you who believe trading is a get-rich-quick scheme. No, it is fucking not. By a long shot. If you think you're going to get rich through trading in 1 month, then you are completely wrong. If you think that, oh, it's okay, like, if I can do it by the end of the year, you are wrong. If you think that, oh, I'm going to be rich in 2 years, 3 years, you are wrong. If you think you're going to be rich in 5 years, you are wrong. It takes age to learn to trade. And I've said this many times before in my, or denoted it. It can take a long time to do this. And if you do it properly, then yes, you will make good money. Will you be rich? Well, you will be considered a rich man to a lot of people. Will you be multi-millionaires? Probably not. Even with the big FTMO sort of trading accounts that they can give you, as a funded trader, you're not making the 50, 60, 100 grand a month return on those. You might be lucky to get 2 to 5 grand a month. That's a lot of money. Yeah. Are you rich? No, of course you're not. That's still, that's an 80 grand job a year, right? So, that's a good amount of money. Of course it is, but it's not going to make you, dripping Lamborghini and all the rest of it, right? It's just not going to do it. So if you think it is, stop now, walk away. You're not the right person for trading. Okay. If you believe trading is going to be easy, and you can't see me because I'm not sort of sharing my video in these of me, my camera, but I have my hand up here. If you believe trading is going to be easy, I did, right? I came from a mindset when I entered into trading that I was extremely confident. And I still am extremely confident. I was very successful at what I was doing. I'd never failed at anything. Anything I put my mind to, I won. That was me, right? Put something in front of me, see you later, I'm winning. End of, right? No, I was like confident as ever. If I lost, I would still win because I would feel like that. I was like, I'm learning all the time. I'm like, I'm going for it. Trading broke me, right? And it gave me a hard slap in the fact that it is not easy. It is a crazy journey. And, we'll talk about one of the biggest things in a second, sort of not the next point, but the point after, which what really pinned me down and gave me a reality check on where trading is. And as most of you know, it took years for me. I still believe I am learning, and it is not an easy journey. So if you are any of the two so far, you're impatient, you want it, blah blah blah, that type of thing. You want to sort of get a nice quick win, and you bet, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and off I go. If you're going to do this, believe that you can pay a high amount of money on a course, because as we all know, and this is why we hate trading, as we all know, there are courses out there for a fuck ton of money, and they will bleed you dry. And you pay all this money initially, and you believe, wow, like if I'm paying this kind of money, surely I'm going to get a return on it, right? Like this is big money for me, so I'm playing with the big boys now. Like I've got my big pants on, and I'm going for it. I'm all in. I'm going to go for it. Well, it's simply not the case. The market of trading is a horrible, horrible place, unregulated, and these training companies will bleed you dry. Yeah, so believing, if you're one of those people that think, oh, I'm going to pay lots of money and get the best thing, you can go out and buy a Range Rover for 150 grand. And, is it the best car you could possibly buy? It feels like it. It's great. And then you drive it off the forecourt and it breaks down because it is the worst, car, a most unreliable rated car in the world. So, just because you're spending all that money doesn't mean it's going to be great and you're going to win, right? It's not going to happen. And this is what caught me, right? If you believe that it is not about psychology, because this was me, right? I came into trading and I was like, look, it's got to be like technical, like, and I'm a technical guy. If it does X, Y, and Z, then I, calculate this, that, and the other, and off I go, and I'm in and I win loads of money. Absolutely brilliant. It is not about that. Trading is like, and this is where a lot of people switch off, and many people already are probably switching off now. Hopefully they are if you think it's get rich quick and believe it's going to be easy, and you're like, okay, fine, maybe it's not for me. Good on you, switch it off, walk away. But I can tell you now, you will not find any course, YouTube video, whatever, no matter how shit I say they are or not, you will not find anyone who doesn't talk about psychology in trading, because it is all about psychology in trading. Okay, let me get my freaking laser beam. Boom! There you go. It is all about psychology. Holy shit, man. I'm going to come clean. I'm going to be honest. Come clean. No, nobody comes clean, right? But anyway, I'm gonna give you some of the insight from me. I've cried. I've been angry. I've punched things, and that's not me. Punch walls, not like people or pets or anything. That would be weird. And I'm actually like got goosebumps on my arms talking to you about this now, because this is really, really, really important. And this was what really changed it for me, the whole thing. And I really realized that training, I was not learning how to trade. I was learning who I was. Fucking hell, that is weird to say, right? Really weird to say, but it is really psychology. And until you do trading, you don't realize how much psychology is involved, right? And that's sort of what a lot of people poo poo, and they don't believe it, and they think, no, it's like whatever, I'm solid, I'm strong, I'm this, I'm that, or the other. Trading is something that will whip you down, and it will hand you your ass, and it is not a nice place to be. I will tell you that for now. So be prepared. If you're still here listening to me, be prepared that trading is is not, it's not what you think it is. And also those of you who suffer with the following, right? Personality traits. I say suffer because you will suffer, right? The reason why I've got suffer with is because you will suffer with these traits in trading. Overconfidence. Yeah, that was me. Anxiety. I never really had anxiety until I got into trading, and then anxiety is now a part of my life. I manage it through psychology, management processes, but it entered my life quite badly. Greed, yeah, that was me. I wanted to win everything. I wanted to, I couldn't lose. It was, that overshadowed everything. Now, trading is part of, ups and downs, which means that, you will lose, and you will lose a lot. And most people lose more than they win. It's just how you win makes you profitable, but that's a completely different video. So greed is a really difficult one. If you really suffer with this, then this is where FOMO takes over, fear of missing out. You see the market going, whoa, look at the market going in the background. Whoa, I'll buy it, I'll buy it, I'll buy it. You buy it, and then you're fucked. See you later. So it's really difficult to, that greed trait relates to a lot of psychological issues, actually, that trading really preys on. And that's where you will get a lot of issues, a lot of issues, and nervousness as well. If you cannot commit, then this is what will bite you in the ass, because you'll be like, oh, I'm waiting for that, oh, I'm waiting for this, oh yeah, go on, then I'll go in, and then it's too late. You need to act, and nervousness will really, really chew you up and spit you out. So, when I say to those of you who, as I said in the previous slide and now, you really have to think about what you want out of it, right? And again, maybe that's another video, but you have to realize that it is a hard road to go down, yeah? And my last point, and this is really the biggie, right? If you're searching, if you're scouring the internet for quick, rich schemes because you want to make money, and if you are already in debt and you are looking for trading to get you out of it, then I will tell you now, you are on the wrong journey. Please, please, I have my hands clasped together. I beg you, walk away. Trading is not for you. If you are already in debt and you are looking to get yourself out of it, trading will make your circumstances worse, and you will regret every second of it. Please walk away. Stop right now. Delete all your subscriptions to any fucking YouTube twats out there that you're, including me, that you're listening to about trading. Unsubscribe, delete, go into YouTube marketing and disable trading from what you want to see, as new updates and new videos. Do everything you can to move yourself away from it, because this journey is not for you. It is a long, long path where, and we'll talk about this in a minute in New Traders facts, which I'm gonna talk about next. But if you are in this situation, you need to move on, because this is not your journey, okay? And pains me to say it, because I'd love everyone to win at everything, including trading, but it is just not there, okay? So you are on the wrong journey. You need to move away, okay? And I say that with my hand on my heart, okay? I really mean that. So here's some things, right? New trader facts. If you are a new trader, you need to be aware that there's a 97% chance that you will fail. Okay? And when I say fail, I mean like this is not a, oh well, I couldn't jump that bridge because it was too far, or I couldn't jump that hurdle, or I couldn't teach my dog to fetch the ball. It's not like that. This is a severe failure. This is life-changing failure if you get it wrong, and that goes back to my last slide. From a debt point of view. So you need to be aware of this. This is high risk, and the failure rate is massive. Yeah, going into an operation where you have a 90% death rate, you wouldn't do it, right? You try and look at an alternative road, right, to go down. So this is the biggest fact, and why it's the first one on the list is because probably, well, no, like nearly everybody on watching this video will fail trading if you're starting. Yeah. This is big as well. 40% quit in the first month. Yeah, with only 13% still trying after 3 years. Look at this. Still trying. 3 years. All right. So you are, out of 100 people, you've now got 13 that are still trying after 3 years. And out of those 13, another 10 will fail, however long that takes. And only 3 of them will become profitable. And by profitable, like I said, this is not rich. Yeah, you'll make some money out of it, but you will have to go a long way to be buying yourself Lamborghinis and big mansions and stuff like that. It just doesn't work like that. Yeah. So it is very, very difficult. And hopefully I'm putting everybody off here, because this is like, and those of you who are going to stop watching this video are the ones that don't want to hear it. Yeah, they don't want to hear it. And it is such a human trait that we want to ignore what we already know to be true, and we want to believe that you can do it better. Oh, he doesn't know what, I can do it better. And that's just human nature, and that's fine, but prepare yourself for being a statistic on another YouTube video for somebody else who does it in a couple of years' time, because you'll be one of those, one of that percentile. So only 4% can make a living from trading. And this is globally. This is like, out of new trader facts, like, new starters and stuff like that. But out of everybody trading in the world, only 4% actually make a living from it. So if you think you're going to give up your job and all the rest of it, and you're listening to these twats on fucking YouTube saying this, that, and the other about, you could give up your job like next month, like just do what I tell you and you can lose your job. Pay me this much money and I'll give you sort of, trading alerts and stuff like that, and you can give up your job. It's all bullshit. It never works. It never happens. And those of you who know what I'm saying, those of you who have been through it, you know exactly what I'm saying. It doesn't happen. So out of every trader in the world, only 4%, like who trade, only 4% are making a living out of it, right? And that's just fucking crazy. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Yeah, this is something, and I'm getting this from like scouring the internet, and I actually did like as we all do, I do like the ChatGPT, the Copilot, and I just sort of analyze sort of what was being said out there around sort of people reporting sort of around the scams out there and stuff like that, and just looking at these significant facts around what we need to all be aware of, and this is again another one at the bottom there, like new traders lose, and I put this in capitals, significant capital in their first 90 days, first 3 months of trading, significant capital. This is not just I'll try it for a tenner, a pound or a dollar or whatever. We're talking, you're fucked. significant, right? And this is why I'm saying, like, if you're these people that are searching for something and, like, you know, trying to look for a quick way out of your situations, then trading is really not your journey, because most of you will fail. Yeah. And unfortunately, most of you will lose significant amounts of capital. And then that basically kills it for you. And you know, you need to be aware of this, that's the journey you're going on, you know. Horrible, but true, right? So going gung-ho, you know, expecting the get rich quick. This is what a lot of traders fall foul of. It's like, you know, they see a trade happening and they just go all in. They're like, oh, I can do it all today, and this one trade is going to change my life. It doesn't. One trade does change your life. It will fuck you up, right? You'll burn. You'll crash and burn. Going gung-ho just doesn't happen in trading. Okay, that nobody who's making any money out of it, significant or not, anyone who's making an ounce of money out of it is not going gung-ho. It is like couldn't be the other, you know, to the other extreme. If you're trading with tiny bits of capital. So if you have $100, you're probably, you know, trading with 50 cents or $1. You know, it's that, like, fractional. You're not, you know, taking your $100 and putting it all on one, you know, sort of trade. You're not doing that. That's not what trading is. So, you know, you need to sort of, like, step away from the whole, like, oh, I'm going to win in a day, because you're not. I've already said countless times, it takes a long journey. This is a long journey, so expect it to take a long journey. You are not going to learn how to trade in, like, 1 day, 1 month, 1 year. It takes a lot longer. Emotional weakness, right? Unprepared for the psychological aspects of trading, and this is what we talk about. And I talk about this a lot, because not because I like psychology, I fucking hate it, because it tells you who you are, and it makes you recognize who you are, and I hate that. But psychology is, and as everyone in trading will tell you, psychology is 95, probably more, percent of what trading is all about. Trading a candle going up or down is fucking bullshit. It's like when you get a strategy, you know your strategy, and you just do your strategy. Does it do this? Yes, it does. Okay, then I'm in. Does it do that? No, it didn't. Okay, so I don't go in. That's it. Like, once you got that sequence of events, that strategy, some call it a what do they call it? I can't remember. I don't call it, which is probably why I forgot, but they call it an edge. There you go. Some people call it an edge. It's just an idea that you have, and if that idea comes up and presents itself, then you go in, and that's it. You lose all emotion. If it loses, it loses. You move on to the next trade. It's simple. If it wins, brilliant, that's fine, whatever. You don't even really care, because it's not about that. It's about the end game, and the end game is far into the future. It's not about any one trade. It's about a sequence of trades over a long period of time. That's what trading is. And the psychology around it is to not get carried away, not to be emotionally impacted by wins or losses, either way, in order for you to then make mistakes. That is trading. Okay? Again, probably a different video, but that is trading. Okay? Yeah. Misconceptions for new traders. They come in, they watch YouTube videos, they see their lifestyle, they see this, they go like, look at that kid, he's fucking making millions out of it. Why can't I? You know, I'm a fucking grown man, I'm fucking more sensible than he is, and surely I can make more money than they do. You know, it's that misconception. And then you're brainwashed by YouTubers, because the YouTubers just say like, oh yeah, this is fucking easy, you can do it, it's fucking easy peasy lemon squeezy. Well, they're fucking wrong. Yeah. And you know, this is where, you know, we have to remember that influencers are knuts, right? They're knuts. And if there's anything out of this entire video that you need to understand, is that influencers are not your friend, right? Say up here, YouTube is not your friend, okay? Influencers are knuts. Yeah. If they're telling you it's easy, they are liars. They're bold-faced motherfucking liars, and they're knuts, right? They're absolutely 100% knuts. Now, this is really interesting because actually most of the influencers in the trading market that you see and you listen to and you subscribe to, they're not actually trading. And most people that are following these people, they're making more money doing their videos and selling their training courses than they would ever do on trading. And remember what I said, you could go to the largest FTMO funded accounts and things like that and be a funded trader, but that capital doesn't give you the 100 grand a month, the 1 million a year. Is probably giving you a good return. Maybe if you get that, you're that 4% or that 3% that succeed, you're probably only getting 2 to 5 grand out of that account, and it's sort of like a month, that is, and that's good money, but it's not making you a millionaire, right? Even if you do 3 of those accounts, 5 of those accounts, 6 of those accounts, yeah, you're earning good money now because it's all racking up, but it's not millionaire money. Yeah, it's not millionaire money. So, it is. This is why these traders, they're not actually trading. They do the channels, they get their YouTube money to fund other things, and then they sell courses, and you fund their lifestyle. Not trading, you fund their lifestyle, not trading. So you have to realize that. And unfortunately, the many of those outweigh the few. There's more knuts out there than there are people trying to help. And, I don't know how many of you are still watching this particular episode, but if you are, then I'm hoping that you are really understanding what I'm trying to tell you and to prepare you for if you are going to do it. And that's why I say, YouTube is your friend, right? So if you have a good mindset, YouTube can be your friend, because if you're still here and you're thinking, I do want to be on this journey and I do want to learn how to trade and I am focused and I am committed and I am going to do it and I'm not going to be a fucking idiot, then YouTube can be your friend, right? But the first thing you need to remember is you don't pay anyone anything, right? YouTube is free, or it has a free license. So now you can go off and find, as I say, a select few YouTubers that you feel comfortable listening to and start to understand how they talk about trading. Be steered by them and what they're looking at. They might be looking at trends, or they might be looking at moving averages. They might be looking at structure of trading, the structure of the market, things like that. They might be looking at higher time frames, like the 4-hour or the dailies or monthlies. Listen to how they talk about it. Only the ones that are trying to grab you for the quick wins are looking at the 1 minute or 5 minute, time frames, right? That's the ones where people get roped into, right? That's clickbait. So it's like, look, in 5 minutes I won that. I made X amount of thousands. It doesn't work like that in trading, and you're certainly not going to be trading every day, right? Even a day trader doesn't trade every day. Okay, and just sort of throw that into the mix for you to think about. But yeah, just find a couple of people that you like, that you can listen to. And when you think you understand market structure, because that's the key value, how the market's moving and why and that type of thing, then try and find a strategy. There are a million strategies for you to choose from, and every single one of them works. Wow. What the fuck? So why is everyone failing? Psychology, baby. Yeah. They fail because they don't have the right mindset. They do not fail because the strategy doesn't work. They fail because they don't have the mindset. End of. There is no argument there at all. Right? If there's a takeaway for this, it is that every strategy works. Within reason, obviously. But there's a million out there for you to pick from. find people you like listening to, find a strategy. And a lot of people that you listen to will have millions of strategies like themselves. They'll go, oh, we've got like this strategy, that strategy, this strategy. Ignore all of that. Concentrate on one strategy and stick with it. And when I say stick with it for a good period of time. Okay. But anyway, like I said, that's a different video. This is all about, is it worth it? And you know, is it worth it? Fuck. I know where I am, and if I could rewind the journey and know where I am right now, could I be where I am without trading? Probably. It would have been a different journey, but trading has allowed me to move forward with my life and you know, set my business up. But I could have probably done that differently with where I was originally. So it's just basically taken me through a journey of fucking a lot of issues and a lot of problems, but we won't go into that. But was it worth it? Jury's out on that one. Let me think about it. Yeah, so closing words, right? Nice and easy. 4 points for you. Don't trust anyone in this world of trading. Don't trust fucking anyone. If anyone's trying to, you know, sell you stuff to teach you how to trade, don't do it. Don't pay them. Okay? Don't do it. And if you are starting out and you're at the beginning of your journey, or even if you've been in your journey for a little bit of time and you've been out there trading, stop trading with real money. If anyone's telling you you need to trade with real money, again, stop listening to that person. You should be paper trade. I started by trading with real money, went horribly wrong. Fortunately, I was able to cope with that impact. And then I traded on paper for like a year and a half. Now, when you look at trading, and I talk about like the journey, it is a long, long journey. So a year and a half is no time at all. And until you have paper traded and you know you're profitable, you can look back on it and go, oh, fucking, I could have been like, you know, I could have made 100 grand. And say, yeah, you could have, but actually, because of what you've done, you didn't lose 100 grand. It's better to not make 100 grand than it is to actually lose 100 grand. So think of it like that. And the last thing I would say is, you know, remember that all YouTube influencers are knuts, right? They are 100% knuts. And I implore you to use that word in your next 24 hours and introduce it into your life. And maybe in reference to the knuts out there in YouTube influencers for trading. When you see them and you watch their videos, just leave them a comment to say you are a knut. And but in truth, you know, is trading worth it? I can't really answer that question if I'm really, really honest with you. And it's that really makes me say, I fucking hate trading.